much power. Yeah. The talks where women share.
Hey there, everybody. What's going on? We're live. Yes, Small Talks Women Shares in the building. We're happy to be here. Whether you guys are catching this live or on the replay, we're here. We're super elated. And we are so thankful for having such a platform where women can come together to learn more and share more about matters which pertain to their world. It's on this platform here where we'll talk about love, relationships, all things entrepreneurship, but of course, hold on, fashion. Can't forget fashion. We'll talk about fashion here, but always ways to be empowered as women. That's the cool part there, to be empowered as women. All right, Sharika. Boom, 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 boom.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ball Talks Women Share. Today, we will be talking about how to destroy the barriers of competition and to build bridges to collaborate. And this will be part one. So, we will have a second part coming up. So, look out for that because we're in a new age, right? We were taught that competition is the way to go, but we all know that if we cooperate together, if we learn from each other, if we build one another, we get there faster, right? So that's what we'll be talking about today. So buckle in because we're going to have an amazing show. And today we have on screen with us Takara Nicole, the Takara Nicole. We have we have Jennifer Sanchez, and we have Michaela Perry. So we're going to go ahead with brief introductions, starting with Michaela.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Michaela Perry. I'm calling myself the growth expert because that is what I do. That is what I'll do. Grow and evolve and experience. I'm just here to just experiences and spread love. So thank you for having me.
Super awesome. And then we go over to, I'm sure you know her, but I let her tell you anyway, to Cara Nicole.
What's up, everybody? Yours truly, Takara Nicole, aka the Identity Architect, coming at you. Super elated to be here in his house with all of you. I help women, females, us beautiful female Christian entrepreneurs live, unlock, and rediscover their purpose. So some of us build books, some of us build brands, but all through it all, we build ourselves. And so that's what I do. And I'm kind of the founder of Vault Talks Women Share. We've been in existence since 2018. So we're on year 4, and this thing is getting bigger and better all the time. And thank you, Sharika.
You're welcome. Then we have the beautiful Miss Jennifer Sanchez.
Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. So, I am the founder of the Women's Institute of Self Development and Efficacy, WISE for short. I'm a Christian counselor and life coach and currently pursuing my master's degree from Liberty University. So, I'm super excited about that. And I help women become unshakable, faith filled, and purpose driven through personal and professional development. So, that's who I am. I'm excited to be here, you guys.
Super awesome. So since Jennifer just spoke, we're just gonna allow her to drop some pearls of wisdom for us today. Jennifer, you still have the mic.
Yeah. So, everyone, pearl of wisdom. I love to share pearls of wisdom. That's something that I do on my Instagram account. And today, what I really wanted to focus on and emphasize on was the whole idea of really focusing on our health. Right? They say health is our wealth. Right? And sometimes we as women will literally neglect our self love, our taking care of ourselves, getting exercise, right? Going out, going for a walk. So, why am I saying this? I literally was just having a conversation today with a woman and talking about how sometimes, right? we have this extra cortisone in our belly, right? We have this extra fat on us. Well, because we've been living sometimes in the survival mode, constantly in the fight or flight, right? So if we don't take the time to reprogram our thought process, if we don't unlearn these survival tactics, right? What happens? We can start releasing the extra cortisone that's in our stomach, right? In because right when you're really high in stress, what's the first thing that happens? Our body is going to start thinking, oh my God, she's in survival mode. Let's start saving fat on our stomach in our bodies because we don't know if she's in starvation mode when she's going to eat again, right? Like our bodies have been created to protect us. So
Mm.
sometimes if we're in high stress, right, that can cause problems, with our immune system and our health. So I really want to emphasize today with the Pearl of Wisdom, just get out there, get exercise, get walking, unlearn these survival tactics so that we can have a more healthier, happier life. And I definitely try. And as hard as it is, ladies, we definitely find the time because we're worth it. We're worth it. So I want to just share that today on the Pearl of Wisdom segment.
Listen, that is so powerful. So, if women are stuck in this place looking to shift, what would be some of those first steps that you would say, hey, first of all, you're worth it? How do we unlearn some of these behaviors? Because let's be real, some of them are cultural based. Some of them are bad habits that we may have picked up in relationships.
Right.
So how do we begin that detoxing program or process?
Yeah. One thing that you just said is the kicker right there is we need to be aware and self-aware of what we're doing, right? And being aware that we're not doing healthy things. Maybe when we're in stress, what we're doing is we're going to the liquor, right? Those extra glasses of wine that everyone loves to have, right? Those big Costco ones, right? Or we're going and doing things that maybe they're quick helps, right, at that moment to take away some of the stress. But we really have to identify, okay, this is just not healthy, right? My weight is not healthy. The way I'm eating is not healthy. And I used to do this all the time, especially when I worked in the nonprofit world. I used to run. I had a coworker that had M&Ms, a big bowl of M&Ms by her desk. Every time I was stressed and I was angry at somebody, I would run over there and grab a whole thing of M&Ms and just shove it down my throat, right? Because I was just so angry and I was so stressed. I wanted like an immediate satisfaction just to help me deal with my emotions. So that's when it's like, oh my God, this is like a survival thing because I learned this as a kid, right? Comfort food, eating is comfort, right? So something that I wanted, that's something for sure. Become aware of our habits. That definitely is the first step, and it's very empowering once you're aware.
Hey, something you said, Jennifer, that made me think about the way that our minds and our body is connected, and how our spirit is connected to all of that, and how it affects our spirit, the way we treat ourselves, the way we care for ourselves, because our spirit is supposed to be given a place where it can live. We are the vessel that holds the spirit. That's what keep the spirit is here, but our bodies keep us tethered to this plane. And how we treat our bodies, the things we listen to, the things we speak about, the things we feed our bodies, whether we exercise, all of that impacts how your spirit operate with you, how much you're able to hear, how much you're able to listen, how much you're able to really be in alignment with the divine and become a part of that, so that you can download the messages that you're supposed to deliver to the rest of the world. So it's important what Jennifer said. You have to take care of yourself. You have to ensure that you're not eating too much M&Ms.
It
And a lot of
happened.
yeah, and then too much alcohol and too much soda and all of that stuff that is just junk and really is not helpful, because your body need a thriving alkaline environment in order for you to thrive, your spirit to thrive, your mind to thrive. So super, super pearls of wisdom. as she
I
said.
love that. Yes, I love that. I love how you connected it to the spirit also, Sharika. That's
Thank
powerful.
you. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this is so good. I
Thank you
mean,
for
this
the
is
pour. I needed to
all
hear that.
right. And this is the second time I've heard something in reference to nutrition this week. So would we all be in agreement? Maybe we need to get a nutritionist on the show talking about some things and ways for us to, really bring awareness to the bad habits we have. Because we can bring awareness, but then it's like we have to be the change. And that's where I struggle. I love me some fried chicken. There's just some things I don't want to give up, but I know that I need to give up. Like especially the older we're getting, we don't lose weight like we used to. It's just it's time to ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and it's hard. It's
Yeah, funny, Sakara, what you said just now made me think of something, right? So, you know how people fast, right? And they fast when they want to create a stronger spiritual connection. So, since we're talking about food and feeding our bodies, let's look at overeating. Some of us binge a lot, right? And when we spend all our time eating, what happens is we actually do not leave any space for that spiritual connection, because it happens mostly when your body is quiet and has slowed down. And if you're always digesting, if your body is always working, there is actually no room for the strong spiritual connection that you probably desire. So overeating is also a defect.
Wow, Sharika, I just want to add in, I became a vegetarian for 2 years. And you know what you're saying about the connection to that food group, I no longer eat meat the same. Even now that I've started eating meat again, I don't crave red meat like before. I could live, first of all, I'm a carb girl, but I could live without meat because I detached myself from that craving. And like you, Takara, there's some foods that I don't want to let go. But I noticed the fasting or the removing something for a while really changes my taste buds. And now I'm like, I really don't need that. I don't crave it like before.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did a 5 day or a 7 day fast once. When I was done, I did not want to eat anything. I felt so clean.
wow. I think we're starting something.
So I
Michaela,
have to share
yes, I knew you had something to say. Come through.
just real. I just had to say, I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan or any of that. I don't like to put in myself in a label. I don't like labels, but I did stop eating red meat. And I stopped eating red meat. I do not have sciatic issues anymore.
Wow.
Period. Don't have it. So that's all I got to say.
Ooh,
That's
okay,
amazing.
okay. Listen. All right. I got an idea. First of all, you guys make sure you're following us on Instagram. We're gonna do this health challenge starting in June. We're gonna give you a couple weeks to get your lives together. But starting in June, make sure you follow us on Instagram. We're gonna do a 21-day challenge to help you get your mind, body, soul. Let's do some lives on our IG page, bring some experts in to be able to help with this. I think this is something as women we all struggle with somewhere in our journey, if we're going to be honest. Somewhere in the journey, we struggle with getting our food together. Okay, so I think this is going to be really great. We can bring some experts in. So look out for that. See, this is why we do what we do. See how your pearls of wisdom, Jennifer, created a whole movement,
You guys ever notice every show we do, an idea is born?
Oh, here she comes. That's that mind reset strategist talking. See there? Listen. So let me go to the comments in Michaela, that face. Let me go to the comments. Let's shout out. Hi, Mary. Is it Mary Yee? Is in the building. We have LG. Hey, oh man, it's tuning in to Ball Talks. Wise man. Wise. We got LaWanda out here listening, watching, tuning in. And so Mary says we have to get uncomfortable to break those mentalities. And that is so true. And she also went on to say you have to improve our health so we can continue to live out our passions. Yeah, I'm getting that one. I'm starting to understand. You know, I'm getting older. I don't feel like it. I don't look like it. But baby, this body sure be acting like it sometimes. So yeah, we got to get this thing on lock. So all right, we're going to go ahead and move on. We're going to go ahead and shout out one of our amazing businesses here. We're going to go to a commercial break, and then we're going to be back with tonight's topic. Get ready, get ready.
Your time is very precious. And wouldn't you agree that it's time to stop wasting it? Does this sound familiar? Are you not fulfilling your potential? Are you not reaching your goals? Are you not even setting your goals? Are you feeling unmotivated, feeling stuck, and you need accountability in your life? Searching for the right answer, the right solution can be difficult and lonely. You get vague information, you're pointed in the wrong direction, you receive bad advice. No one wants that. And there must be a better way. Well, there is. At All About One Leadership Consulting, we can help. At All About One, we help individuals and organizations achieve their goals, get unstuck, and reach their potential. Contact us today.
All right, everybody, we are back. And we, as I said before, we're talking about collaboration, right? And I want to start this conversation off with Takara, because I know she is doing a number of collaborations with a number of different people around a number of different things, including us right here. That's what we're doing. So, so Takara, the mic is yours.
Well, listen, so one of the things that, and I talk about this all the time, but I'm very intentional with spending time with God to understand what I need to do for the next year. So that we're going to go backwards today. This is 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2020, God told me that 2021 was going to be the year of collaboration and the year to be excited. And so I was kind of nervous to work with other people because I've been hurt in different collaborations. You know how that goes. We kind of are on edge about working with other people. But what he taught me was, in order for the vision to really come alive, you got to work with other people. You can't do it all yourself. And so one of the cool things about collaboration, that it can literally destroy competition, because now you guys are coming together and building something way bigger than what you could build on your own. And that's so important. But that's that whole mind reset that you have to have with yourself first before you go and collaborate with other people. You have to come from a healed place before you go and collaborate with other people. That part. You have to know who you are. And if you know anything about me being the identity architect, I'm going to tell you, know who you are as a game changer. But you have to know who you are as you are entering into a collaboration with someone. So you know your core values, you know what you stand for, you know what you ain't rocking with, you know what you rocking for. So as you're building, if something feels funny and it's off because it's not what you desire, it's not who you are, you have to speak up. And a lot of times we want to shrink back and be that, yeah, that's good, that's great. But don't go too far in the molding process where your voice is not being heard, because you're going to build something that's not what you're supposed to build, because you're not staying true to who you are. You're not staying true to those core values. And so I had to do some digging. Like if I tried to do a collaboration before when God told me, I would have been jacked up, because I was still dealing with my rejection issues from my daddy. I was still dealing with my abandonment issues from my daddy and the other men that I had to deal with. And then, there's so many things. And rejection and abandonment just don't come from relationships. They can come from the workplace. They can come from church. They can come from other places, environment, period. And so I had to do that work. So understanding that the power of a collaboration, can exceed your expectations and can make what you're building so much more. And I will digress because I can go on about that. I'm just thankful. You have to be in a mindset of doing the work and unlearning some of those nasty, gross behaviors that you want to hold on to because you don't want to do the work because they're just that nasty and that gross and they remind you of different things. You may get triggered, but I tell people get triggered so you can thrive later.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. And I like the fact that you said you have to heal first. Because when we show up in front of other people with our drama and our trauma, people tend to trigger the things. A matter of fact, we tend to show up in the places where we will get triggered. And then you get triggered and you're going crazy, and everybody's like, what's wrong with her? And you can't seem to gel anywhere. And then what people don't understand, friend of mine and I was having a conversation yesterday, and I was like, what people don't get is that if you have the same problem everywhere you go, you are the problem, not the other people. It's not possible that everybody's gonna have the same issue. If you have the same problem everywhere you go, you are the problem. So take a look at yourself. Heal what you need to heal, break down what you need to break down, build up what you need to build up, but you are the problem. And it always are. You are always the problem. So
Yes.
have a look at that. Jennifer, since you're there, you go. What
Yes,
elaboration?
Sharika. Oh yeah, no, I want to jump right and piggyback on what you said, Sharika, because being healed is a big one because if you're not healed, right, you're bleeding all over everybody. It becomes like this weird, like I hear like the entanglement word for some reason comes to my head, but it shouldn't be coming to my head, right? Um, but what I really appreciate is, and Takara and the ladies here, like I build community, I build collaborations. I'm big on always bringing speakers in my community, and I have to be strong as a leader personally to be able to say and healed, right? And I'm not saying everyone's healed, and there's got to be a process of healing because I am a big believer that we're constantly going to be healing. There's always someone's always going to hurt us, then we got to heal again, and then someone's going to hurt us, and we got to heal again. It's just a constant like back and forth, right? Because we love people, and people are hurt. Broken people hurt people, right? But I know that me as a community leader and a collaborator all the time, I need to be strong, know who I am, know what I'm about, and be confident enough to understand that there's going to be people that are going to surpass my success. There's going to be people that are going to do more than me. And if I was a stepstone for that individual, accept that that's okay and be okay with that. I can't be the one that's always on top. I can't. I got to have people that surpass me.
Woo-wee! Michaela, what you got, girl? What you got brewing over there?
All I can hear is congratulate, don't hate. You know what I mean? Like whenever somebody's doing something good, somebody always got something negative to say. Let's just be honest. Somebody always got something negative to say no matter what. If you're doing bad or if you're doing good. People talk. I mean, that's just what they do. They talk. Yeah. Talk, right? But when you're confident in yourself, you don't care what anybody else say. So that healing part is really important. And when you talk about pointing the finger, when you point the finger, you forget and 3 is pointing back at you. So you can't be sitting up here and seeing everybody else's issue and I didn't do this because this person didn't do this and this didn't happen because of this, and this. No. We are the creator of our reality. We're past what we got to do. And it takes one day at a time. So if, like we were talking earlier about the whole, working out thing and eating, just take it one day at a time. It don't have to be this whole huge master plan. Just, one day at a time. That's all you need. Just one try and be perfect because ain't no such thing as perfect. So just one day at a time. That's all you got to do. And quit hating.
Super awesome. I want to piggyback on something that Jennifer said, right? She said that healing is constant and we're still alive, right? We're still having experiences and every day something else is going to come up. And that's why awareness is something that we talk about earlier. When you're aware of where you are, you're able to see the things that are coming up, right? You're able to see, oh, that offended me today. And so later on, when you're going to bed, before you go to bed, you can say, I forgive myself and I forgive you, and you're moving on. And that's healing, right? So you're addressing each issue as it comes up. It's continuous. As long as you're alive, then you continue to heal every single day. So don't think, okay, I did this coaching program and I went through 12 weeks of healing and now I'm healed. Nope, you're not. It's continuous. And even though you went through that program, some of those things are going to pop up again. So you have to constantly be healing them so that you can move on. And then Jennifer, Michaela said something about blaming everybody, right? If you are blaming everybody, I promise you, you're not healed. Because if you're healed, then you would have understood that you're responsible for your own life. You're in charge. It's your life. It's your vision. It's your mission. God put you here to live for you and for Him, but through Him. So, I mean, if you're blaming everybody, then you're still a victim. And if you're still a victim, then you're not healed. All right. So we're moving on to the next thing that we want to talk about and quit hating.
And quit hating. I'm gonna put that on a shirt. And quit hating. Dot. You're gonna be like, what? Quit. That's you know what? And quit hating. Dot on the back. Just quit. I love it. So let me read some of the comments that we've had going on. Shout out to his name is LG. I know him as Lawrence Green. He says, y'all dropping jewels. Good for all of us. Oh, see, he's the right guy who we want to tune in to Ball Talks Live and Share. Thank you, LG. And he said, going back to the collaboration conversation, he said, I think of collaboration as as building the tribe you deserve, not the one you're born in. Okay, now that's a nugget, LG. We got the one and only Rika Wright, aka the credit repair specialist and enthusiast in the building. She will be with us next week on Vault Talks Women Share. She said yes, 1 hour at a time. She's giving us some flames and some of those Jesus hands. And Mary Yee is saying, what is going to be for you will be for you. God bless us all. I love it. I love it. All right, Sharika, take us through. What else you got? Let's go.
So the question I want to ask, because all of you ladies have collaborated, we're all collaborating here right now. So someone is seeing this show and they want to say, okay, how do I try this collaboration thing? And what are some of the challenges that I'm going to face? How would you answer that question? Any one of you ladies? I know you got this.
Ooh, I could take a stab at it first.
Go.
I think for me, and if someone wants to collaborate, it has to be your goal is you want to serve them. Okay. So for me, when I collaborate, I think about, okay, let's say, for example, I'm bringing like me and Takara, I could use a perfect example because we collaborated at my conference, right? And and then she collaborated with my babies, right? Like she helped my babies become published authors. So I had to sit back and say, how can I give back? Because initially I went to her first. She didn't know me. She didn't know anything about me. And she was like, then she found out, she's like, I need to get to know you more. I remember she was like, I need to know more about you. And I was like, okay. So I just thought, okay, how can I be of service to her and give to her as well, right? So I'm always looking for ways that I can serve through my collaborations, because my goal is we can't get to where we're trying to go by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's a reality. I wouldn't be where I'm at if people didn't extend their hand down to me. So that's how I see it. It's all about pulling each other up, and in our own areas, because Takara is great at things that I'm not as great at, and vice versa, right? We complement one another. So that's how I see it. It's all about serving. How can I serve this woman and help her get to the next level?
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Were there any challenges that you experienced, whether it was when you worked with Takara or anybody else that you've worked with?
Oh Lord Jesus. Yeah, of course you do come up with, not Takara. Takara is awesome. Takara is awesome because now we're doing this together, right? Um, I've had situations where then the competition comes into play and they make it look like, yeah, I want to collaborate and I want to support and I want to be women's empowerment and blah 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 blah, right? And then as you're talking and you're doing things with them, all of a sudden you start seeing a more of a competitive side. And I don't play with that. I'm like, bro, you can keep it. You can have it. I'm not doing it. I don't play that. Like Mary, you said, what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. God's gonna give regardless to what belongs to us. So
Right.
I have had women where they take what I'm trying to give and they try to abuse my service. And then that's when I have to say, let me shut this door real quick because I can.
Wow. Wow. Michaela, what you got? Is she there? Okay. I'm not sure if Michaela is with us. So, when collaborating, there
I'm here.
are. Oh, okay. Okay. Go ahead, Michaela.
Oh, it must be my internet. My bad. My bad. But no, what I just wanted to add, with collaboration, yeah, it could be very scary. Definitely very scary. And stepping outside your comfort zone, collaborating is not what we normally do. We normally like to just have an idea, do what we do, and we keep it all tight, tight, huddle, huddle, hush, hush. Nobody can see it and just move in silence. Sometimes we got to do that. But sometimes, I believe collaboration is a beautiful thing. But I would say definitely do your research. Do your research on the person, internet stalk them like you do that dude you like. I'm just saying you gotta do things like that. Check out things that you could check out. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you gotta think outside the box. Watch what they do, watch how they move, listen to their words. You know what I mean? Listen to them when they talk. They'll tell them themselves. You could tell a BSer from the very beginning, right? Because of what they say. So you could definitely tell. So just, be aware. Listen to what they tell you, because they will definitely tell on themselves and stalk them. I'm not saying do bad, but do your research. Know who you dealing with, that your values align with their views. You know what I mean? Quit laughing at me. I'm for real. You gotta see people.
And if you're having problems identifying the BS, just hook up with Michaela. She'll help you out. so, so, I mean, there are different barriers that we have to overcome if we want to collaborate, right? I mean, we still have race issues. We still have people religion issues. There's so many different obstacles that you have to overcome if you want to work with somebody, right? So how do you even you're gonna stalk them, like Michaela says. Or you're gonna get Michaela to stalk them for you. But How do you identify these barriers before you even begin to think about how am I going to overcome this? Because before you have to know what you want to overcome, right? So how do you even identify the barriers that you want to overcome that are in your way? I mean, go ahead,
Yeah,
Jennifer.
Michaela said a great point, and I didn't think about it. Like, I think I am a stalker, but the only reason why I say that is because even recently I met someone and I've been watching her on social media and I've been picking up her vibes and I'm like, I like what she's talking about, right? Like, so then when I finally met her, I was like, we gotta do something. She said, yeah, let's do something. So then I just play the time game. How long will it take before we actually do something? Because then that's how you can notify, are they really want, do they really want to collaborate? Because if they do, they'll jump on it. Yeah, I think this is great. Vice versa. If I want to jump on with somebody, I'm going to immediately say, hey, I want to do something with you. When can we do it? And then that's how you see if they really are about it. Like Michaela said, like, are they really just saying it for show? Or are they really sincere that they want to collaborate and work with you? So I love what Michaela said.
Sweet. Sweet. Because a lot of time people in the spur of them, yeah, I'll do that with you. And then you don't hear anything. Takara, what you got?
Man, this is good. We're gonna go to a commercial break, and then you get to hear what I got to say. We'll be right back. Man, so here we go. Y'all ready? So one of the things that I learned about collaboration was that I had to be ready for it. One, you have to be willing to deal with different personalities. Two, you have to be willing to compromise. Three, and that big word, compromise, it doesn't mean lose sight of who you are. It means that, you know what, maybe you okay, personal moment. I'm a strong individual. I'm a strong individual. Did you know I was a strong individual? And my thoughts can sometimes I want to be, and I'm an only child on my mama's side at least. So I can be a little spoiled and set in my ways. And so I can see some things tunnel vision. And then when I step back, I'm like, you know what? Let me compromise because this can get us a different result by doing something different. And so I literally have to talk to myself that way and understand that this is a collaboration. If I wanted to do everything by myself, then I would do it by myself and I would be able to be in full control and have full access to everything that I want to do. Evidently, I'm collaborating with this person because there's something that we can build that's stronger than what I can build on my own. And I think that's where we have to be in a place to owning our own lane and understanding that we have our own pathway and to own every part of that, the good, the bad, the ugly, when it's under construction, all of that. And to be able to understand when you can merge into somebody else's lane, your lane's already been created. So when you merge into somebody else's lane, it's not taking anything away from you. Now you guys can build. And so when you can shift your mind to understand that you're building something bigger than you, so more people can be impacted, because we all have an assignment as it is. So when we collaborate with other people, that just brings more power, more energy, more vibrations to the assignment to help the masses. And I had to get that out of my head. One of the things that I'm collaborating on is an author's retreat. God gave me the idea, but I partner with someone else. She has her whole brand that is separate than mine, but we speak the same language. I could have easily been like, she's my competition, but I don't see her like that, because I've done the work to be healed from that and understand what we're building is so much bigger and better than what she could build by herself and what I could build by myself. So you have to shift your mind to understand that whole build a bridge instead of building a barrier. And when God gave me that analogy some years ago, it shifted my life, because a lot of times we want to build that tall wall. That's not helping us to get anywhere. We're stuck in our feelings. But if we knock down the barrier and build the bridge, now we're able to cross into uncharted territory with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and we're partnering with other people who also have knowledge, wisdom, understanding. They may land differently, but you guys are still landing in the same place. So, boom, that's what I got.
Boom, as you said. It's funny. So the name of my YouTube channel is Self Mastery, right? But my brand is Life Mastery through Self Mastery. And as we're talking about collaboration, I was on Clubhouse and I met a self mastery coach. Now, if I had competition in mind, this is basically what I do, right? If I had competition in mind, then she could not have been a guest on my show, right? Because we're talking about basically the same thing. And in my head, I would probably be thinking, okay, if I'm a self mastery coach and she's a self mastery coach, there's going to be some conflict. But there doesn't have to be any conflict, because guess what? You're here to do something completely different and to serve completely different people than I am here to serve. And if you look at it from that perspective, then you won't have any conflict. There's no need for competition. There is enough for every single one of us, right? Everybody has their individual purpose. And I think someone said it in the comments. What's yours is yours, right? Nobody can take what they can try. But if you serve the same God that I serve and these ladies serve, they're not gonna get to take what you have. So just know that what's yours is yours and nobody can take it, right? But as Takara was speaking, I have this quote, partial quote on the back of my book by Socrates, know thyself, right? And as Takara was speaking, that came to mind because everything that she said summed it up in those two words: know thyself, right? Know what you're about, know what your mission is, know what you're willing to compromise, know what you're willing to give up, know what you're willing to let slide, know what you're willing to accept and not accept, know which words are you're okay with, know what you're not comfortable with, and then more than anything, understand that everybody is at a different place on this journey, right? So that person might be just waking up, right? And they're completely clueless. And then someone else has been up for 2 hours. So they kind of have a gist of what's going on. And then someone else is up for 4, 5, 6 hours. They're halfway in there. And someone else. So everybody is at a different place. So if you know yourself, and if you understand yourself, then you can have space to have a little compassion for somebody else and understand that, oh, she's just not there yet, right? And maybe when you do that, you can help that person to get there. So I'm opening the floor for you ladies to jump in here.
I don't know if Michaela wants to say anything.
Well, sure. I just love that analogy. Like the analogy of when somebody wakes up at this time versus this time and that time. That is perfect on how to describe that. Because sometimes we kind of forget we're kind of stuck in what we want to do and what's going on with us. We kind of forget that this person over here don't have what you have. They don't know what you know. So
Yeah.
instead, be compassionate with it. Heck, I have to be compassionate with myself because I be looking at y'all and y'all websites and on Instagram and stuff, and I be like, I'm not on there. I'm not doing that. I want to do that too. But then it's like, well, do it. What's stopping you? Do it, right? So here I am. I'm doing it. So I'm doing it my way. And I'm doing it the way God told me to do it. And I don't care what nobody else says.
Yes. I learned with, what you were saying, Sharika. I compete with myself. And I enforce this lesson with a lot of the women I work with. Compete with yourself, be the best with yourself. I was a competitive swimmer. So when you're in competition in the swim meets, you're not looking at the person next to you or the other side of you. You're competing against your own time, right? So if your time is 2 minutes and 35 seconds, well, the next time you go around, you're going to try to be 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Not, try to shave some seconds off. So that's kind of how I feel when it comes to collaborating with women. And similar to you, Sharika, I come across women where it's like, hey, we do similar things. It could be my competition, but then I have to tell myself, I'm sorry, do you guys hear the baby in the background? then I have to tell myself, okay, then, at the end of the day, I had my life journey. I have my experiences. I have how God's spoken to me about something, right? Versus how that person sees everything from a whole different lens. Might be the same thing, but she has her own way of doing things, how she sees it, and her tribe is going to follow her, and my tribe is going to follow me. So that's I love that.
I gotta go to these comments really quick because we on fire over here, y'all. We on fire. Hold on here. So LG is still talking about collaboration, which I love. He said, my collaboration challenge was when I tried to wait for the group before I took action. Now I know I have to always be actively pursuing my mission, and then find my way to work with others. Now that's juicy, as my girl K Monique would say. Ariel says, hey queens, community over competition. And then Rika's like, yes, right. Compete with yourself. LG also says, even the smallest step is an accomplishment. And then we have Ariel saying, yes, with a whole bunch of emojis, from the clapping of the hands to the crowns to the hearts. So we are in his house here. I'm loving it. Go ahead, Sharika.
So we have just a few minutes left before we have to wrap up the show. But I'm going to give everyone an opportunity to say something about their collaboration journey and something that they've learned on this journey, whether it's about themselves or about working with other people. So let's go with you, Michaela. Then we'll go around in circle.
Sorry. So what I have learned, and somebody said it earlier, is that your tribe doesn't always have to be your blood family. So I have created a tribe based upon the energy that I present out to the world. So now I have learned that, your family is your family, right? So I've been asking myself, would I mess with them if they wasn't my family? And I know that sounds a little jacked up to say, but I mean, it's the truth. Would I mess with you if you wasn't my family? So when when I kind of look at it on that aspect, it was easy to cut people off. Like, real talk, I could love you from a distance. and just because I cut you off doesn't mean that I don't wish the best for you, doesn't mean that I still won't extend my hand, because I will. It just means that you ain't in my bubble like that. That's all that means. But I still got love for you. So that is something that I have learned. And although it could be a little challenging at times, because you know how your family can be, and they start talking to other family members, and then next thing you know, no, I'm just saying, but you get the drift. So that is what I have learned, is that you can create your tribe. It does not have to be the blood. So that part.
Before we go to everybody else, I got to read these comments. So Mary Yee says, every great leader will leave nuggets for their success, and we can learn from each other to grow in our own success. Joyce, the author, says, hey, Michaela. And she says, yes. Hey, Tasha, how you doing, love? This is my favorite comment right here. Rika says, damn, LOL. Yes. And I love it. And then she leaves this emoji like, with the laughing emojis. Joyce also goes on to say, right, family isn't always on the same page. And Rika goes and says, success leaves clues. So with that being said, all right, take us further while we have a couple minutes left.
Jennifer, you're up.
So the biggest learning lesson for me in regards to collaborating and my tribe is they are a reflection of me. They're my mirror. So whoever I'm partnering with, whoever I'm collaborating with, whoever I'm attracting into my community is going to be a reflection of me. And so many times I've had women come and meet my community and say, Jennifer, you have the best women. I've never been part of a community like yours. And I say, thank you, Jesus, because that's a reflection of me and who I am and my values. So I want them to feel right when they're around me, right? So if your tribe is acting funny and crazy, it's a mirror, it's a reflection. Think about that.
Ooh, that was so sweet. I love that so much, Jennifer, because I teach that. I teach that in my coaching. I love that the people the people that we interact with every day, they're just reflection. Oh man, that's so juicy. Takara, you're up.
Oh, yeah. Jennifer, listen. You talking about, that mirror. If they stank, that means I'm stank. I know we chipped some women's red toenail polish on the big toe tonight. Yes. It's okay. Go ahead and I hope you know that color, that D499 or whatever your color is. Go ahead and have them to touch it up real quick. And while they're touching it up, I hope you do a mirror reflect like boop boop. Oh, yep. That's why my toe chipped. All right, listen, that was so good. No, seriously though, the one thing that continues to ring in my head is don't lose you while you're collaborating with others. Don't lose your morals. Don't lose your core values. Don't lose your vision as you're collaborating. That's just a portion of what you still have to do. So don't lose sight of the big vision. Just know that this is a part of it, but don't lose it. So go ahead, Sharika, take us in.
Oh my gosh, everyone, that was epic, right? Round just epic. I mean, Michaela, know your tribe, right? Find your tribe. And that starts by taking the first step. And then Jennifer, man, this is like my favorite topic ever, like mirror, being a mirror for people. When you tell people, oh, they're just reflecting you, they go like, huh? That's what I am. But yeah, that's what you are. And that was an eye opener for me when I learned that. So superb, Michaela. And then you, Takara, always dropping amazing gems over there. But knowing right? What you're willing to give away, what you're willing to take. For me, I think the first time I learned this concept of collaboration was on Clubhouse, right? And well, what I learned, I'm not going to talk about all the other drama, but what I learned for myself was I was putting other people's visions in front of my own, right? Because I showed up with my vision, I knew what I wanted to do, and the next thing I know, someone else's vision had caused me to sidetrack mine, put mine one side on the table, put everything on stop, and now I was here with your vision, shaking it like it was my baby when it was not, right? All of my time was going into someone else's vision. And then I took a step back and I was like, what are you doing? Right? You're giving up everything that is of value to you. And you know what makes it worse when you do that? When someone else is not giving up anything for you. That makes it even worse. So that was my biggest lesson of collaboration. And then we're on a journey, right? So as we go along, we will learn more things about how to work with people and how to be that mirror thing that Jennifer spoke about works, So it's been a wonderful journey for me, but that was the major lesson that I learned about collaboration. Don't put my vision on the side. If it's not something that can go hand in hand with what I'm doing, then it's not worth it, because I'm here to live my purpose. And while I can help you to live your purpose, I'm not supposed to put my purpose on hold so that I can help you with yours. Both of our purposes should be able to run together side by side, up there with everything. So exactly, right? So if that's what you're doing when you're collaborating, then that's not collaboration, right? You're like an employee, working for somebody. You're not collaborating. So just make sure that you're not putting your dreams, your vision on hold so that you can help someone else uphold theirs. So we are out of time, aren't we? Yes, we are. And this was an amazing show. And I'm giving everybody one word to close out. One word. Starting with you, Michaela. One word. And I see Jennifer thinking. Now. Okay. Start now. I'll add another word to that. Jennifer, you go.
Extravagant.
Extravagant. Go big. All right. Takara, you're up.
Discernment.
Discernment. Nice. My word is staying true. True.
I'm about to say that's 2 words, but okay.
Oh, my word is true, but I'm just, kind of squeezing another word in there. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And we will be here again next week with another amazing show. And thank you, Michaela and Jennifer and Takara, for being here and for this amazing conversation. And we hope that you got a ton of value from our discussion. And feel free to DM any one of us if you have questions, or all of us if you don't mind. Alrighty. Okay. See you guys next week, and we're out.
Women share to be bold and take risks. The talks, women say what they feel and mean what they
moment there.
say.